Many of the books that Emily had written, and many of the gentlemen that she knew one man who was I believe, Presbyterian minister. She met him once, but they had a correspondence that lasted for years and years. And after the man died, his relatives burned all of Emily's letters, and it would just be marvelous to know what was in them. So some of her more romantic poems came around this time too. Wild nights, were I with thee, wild nights should be our luxury. Rowing in Eden, the sea, might I but moor tonight in thee. And this one, I've got an arrow here, loving the hand that sent it, I the dart revere. And then another gentleman that she knew, he was the editor of the newspaper called the Springfield Republican. Title divine is mine, the wife without the sign. My husband, women say, stroking the melody, is this the way? And in a letter to him she wrote, I have the errand from my heart. I might forget to tell it. Would you please to come home? You have the most triumphant face this side of paradise. And that he had. I've seen his pictures. He had also a wonderful wife, 8 wonderful children. He touched me, she wrote, and so I live to know that such a day permitted so. I groped upon his breast. It was a boundless place to be. I envy seas whereon he rides. I envy spokes of wheels of chariots that him convey. I envy crooked hills that gaze upon his journey. How easy all can see. What is forbidden utterly, as heaven is to me. And the beginning of another poem. He put a belt around my life. I heard the buckle snap. Heart, we will forget him, you and I tonight. You may forget the warmth he gave. I will forget the light. And when you have done, pray tell me, that I may straight begin. Haste, lest while you're lagging, I remember him. This is my letter to the world that never wrote to me, the simple news that nature told with tender majesty. We're moving into a little different area here. I stepped from plank to plank, so slow and cautiously. The stars around my head I felt, around my feet the sea. I knew not that the next would be my final inch. This gave me that precarious gait some call experience. She wrote a letter to a cousin about heaven. The smallest robe will fit me, and just a little bit of crown. Emily had written many poems, but 7 of them had been published during her lifetime. She had sent work to different newspapers and different publishers, but no one really was interested in her imagination and her style. And some writers believe that this is the gloriousness of her poems. She had no deadlines, she had no topics, she had no one to please but herself. She could write privately because her sister Lavinia, who also never married, was the rock of the family. Lavinia had begun making decisions for the parents as they became older, and when they died, Lavinia took over very smoothly the running of the household. Lavinia and Emily were the same size, and so for Emily to have new clothes, she didn't even have to go to the dressmaker because Lavinia would take care of everything. Lavinia gave her privacy and gave her the luxury of being able to do without making any plans or doing anything around the house. Before Emily died, she made Lavinia promise to destroy everything she had written. Emily died in 1886 at the age of 55. Because she had never left the home, the men who worked around the Dickinson property tore down fences and carried her coffin from the back of the Dickinson home through various parcels of property to the cemetery where she was buried.